Real quick, if you're looking for a different kind of film study, check out my movie channel. The link is in the description, so you can just click on it right there. I have a Dune 2 review on there. I have a Christopher Nolan tier list, a Quentin Tarantino tier list, a lot of other fun stuff. Check it out if you want. And anyway, let's get back to your regularly scheduled video. Well, all right, let's talk about Minshew Mania here with the Raiders. There's been kind of this debate as whether or not he will even start this upcoming season, because again, you have Aiden O'Connell there who showed flashes as a rookie, and I don't know if Minshew is going to start. Maybe I'll make an off-season video as to who I think should start, but now let's just talk about if he does start, what would he bring to the table? What can he do? If we assume that he does win the job in the preseason and is able to get the starting job, what could he do with this Raiders offense? Well, this is a good example of what he was able to do with the Colts last year, which again, they were almost in the playoffs, right? They came so close here. All they had to do was beat the Texans the final game of the season. They would have been in. The Texans would have been out. But you see this concept. It's going to be a zone coverage play, and it's the number 2 receiver's route. That's usually the one that can get into a gap in coverage. However, when Minshew takes the snap, you see right here that it's pretty well defended by Houston. They have a guy over there, so maybe Minshew could try to make a throw, but it would be tough and probably wouldn't get you very many yards. Minshew's just going to decide not to do that, and this is going to be where one of the real positive aspects of Minshew comes into play is his playmaking ability. Watch how when he scrambles out right here, you see right now, the Houston player kind of stopped covering Michael Pittman here. I'm not sure why. Maybe he got bored. I don't know. That was a weird thing he did. But now you do have an open receiver, which, again, scrambling usually does give you more time for something to get open. The issue is that now Minshew is completely running towards his left and is going to have to try and get the ball to Pittman. And watch how he's going to do it. Watch him just kind of just shovel flip, and it works out. So Minshew has some improvisation. He can get plays to work even if they aren't working as designed. So that's definitely an immediate positive that he can bring to the table for the Raiders. Also, play like this, which is, again, going to be Michael Pittman running a route over the middle right here. And you see it's against man coverage. It's a route that can work, for sure. But watch as when Minshew takes the snap, you're going to see that right here. Okay, it's kind of open. You can see it's kind of about to get open, but there is some traffic in front. And Minshew maybe would like to just wait a little bit longer to make this throw. Again, if you had to make the throw now, I think he would make the throw now. But you'd like to wait a little bit longer. The issue? There is pressure coming from Houston, so he doesn't really have the extra time, right, if he stays where he's at. But watch what he's going to do. Watch him navigate the pocket well, and he's able to make the throw well enough to get the completion. This is something Minshew's done going back to his rookie season, is be able to have the mobility while still throwing down the field. Being able to kind of, know how to move in a way to keep pushing the ball down the field as opposed to just looking to run. Very good aspects of Minshew that he is going to bring to the table with the Raiders. And even stuff like this, where a play doesn't work. This is going to be zone coverage. That's the route that he wants to look towards. You can see how it could get open kind of, deeper down the field. However, when Minshew runs this play action, he looks down the field and doesn't love what he sees. Steps up a little bit, isn't crazy about this though. So now what do you do? Again, if, for some quarterbacks, if this is Jimmy Garoppolo, for example, he probably, has to throw the ball away or maybe take a check down right here, which there are check downs available. However, Minshew instead is able to scramble out, and he picks up 9 yards there. And, if it was a key play, could have gotten more than 9 yards. Chose to not take the hit, which is smart when you're a starting quarterback. But still, really good stuff there, I think, by Minshew to just find ways to still positively impact the play. But going over here, this is really, I think, what the Raiders are going to mostly ask of him if he is the starter, is to just run the offense, right? The Raiders have players. Like, they have quality pieces on the outside. I think they want a quarterback who can just run the offense, and whether that's O'Connell or Minshew. Well, Minshew did a pretty good job of it with the Colts. So play like this, you have a tight end running a route, and you can see how it could get open against zone coverage. Minshew is going to take the snap. He reads the play accurately, even does a little pump fake to try and help it get open, and it works. I mean, there's a player who's open right here. It's actually a pretty well-thrown ball by Minshew. I know it's a little bit behind the player he was throwing it to, but that was intentionally so. He was trying to make sure he got it away from the defenders as much as possible. Again, sometimes you have to throw it not necessarily to where your receiver is, but to where the defenders are not. And that's what Gardner Minshew, again, he has a really good handle of that kind of stuff. Now, going over here, listen, I've said a lot of nice things about Gardner Minshew, because I like him. I think he's a solid quarterback. But, he is not a perfect quarterback. Like, let's be honest. Like, there are some flaws, and there's a reason why he's played on so many different teams. No team has said, let's just keep him on, as our guy. Play like this, you see the route on the screen, could get open against it's actually a zone coverage with an extra man in coverage, just a 3-man rush right here. Despite that, when Minshew takes a snap and looks down the field, starts scrambling out and is throwing off balance, so it's not the easiest throw in the world. But despite that, the halfback's route that I talked about is open right here. You'd love to get this completion on a 3rd down and 4. If you did, it'd probably be a touchdown. Instead, Minshew just misses that one. No getting around it. And Minshew will miss throws. Like, obviously, we remember the kind of final play of this game where Minshew threw it a bit behind, the halfback who's trying to throw it to, who also didn't quite make the grab when he probably could have. Listen, he's not necessarily Tom Brady out there. I think that's fair to say. And also the other aspect is he'll put the ball in harm's way at times. A play like this, something that on paper is already kind of a risky play, right? You really have to be aware of the safety if you want to make this throw, because there will be a safety deep, something you have to pay really close attention to. Minshew takes a snap. Again, there is pressure, so he's kind of disrupted by that a bit, but decides to take the chance, throw it down the field, and Jesse Bates is there, the guy who circled in black. Like, I don't really know what Minshew was thinking here, and he will have some of those, wait, what were you thinking there types of moments, so that's a very odd one. As you see, does get intercepted. So, it's a part of Minshew. Like, he is not a perfect quarterback, and that's why maybe some people would say, well, maybe let's just see what Aiden O'Connell has, because it's almost like, do you want the guy who you kind of know who he is, which is solid, or a guy who might have a lower floor, but also might have a higher ceiling if the goal is, who is a long-term option? Because I don't know if Minshew is going to be, like, a long-term franchise quarterback option, but at the same time, it's possible he is better than O'Connell. But do you maybe say, hey, O'Connell if you feel like he has a chance to be a long-term franchise quarterback, do you let him be the starter, even if he's not quite as good in year one? I don't know. But they also paid Minshew kind of a lot to just be a backup. But maybe it's just hey, we're not paying a quarterback. We have money to spend. Let's just make sure we go into the season with a plan B. It's also possible that they just like him, right? Like, it's possible they're just like, hey, he's a pretty good quarterback. He can take a team potentially to the playoffs. I think pretty clearly see that. I don't think the Raiders want to tank this season or anything. I think they feel pretty good about their roster. Well, maybe there could be some improvements. I think they feel okay about it. They feel like they just need a quarterback, and Minshew is a solid quarterback. So I don't know. Interesting to see what exactly happens. But yeah, those are my thoughts on all of this. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.